Hey guys, Mr. T here, just doing another video on the idea of percentage increase and decrease. The change in quantities in real life is often expressed as a percentage of the original. So for example, cost of living, often the news will say it's increased by 20% or carbon emissions need to fall by 50%. So you're not saying exactly how much the cost of living is increasing by in dollar amounts. You're saying that it increased by a certain percentage compared to what it was at a previous time. Okay? Now you can use two methods to calculate the final quantity after percentage increase or decrease. So I'm going to show you these two methods. One is a two-step percentage change that involves two steps. One, calculate the size of the increase or decrease by finding the percentage of the quantity, which we've done before. Then after you know what the percentage of the quantity is, you add that when it's an increase or you subtract that when it's a decrease from the figure of the original quantity, and that tells you what it's going to end up at once it's increased or if it's decreased. Now my preferred method and the faster way, as long as you understand it, is the multiplier percentage change. So think about when something has increased by a certain percentage, we'll call that x, then its value after that is 100%, the whole amount or what it originally was, plus the x percent overall. When something's decreased, it's the opposite. If something's decreased by x percent, then its value is 100, take away x percent of what it was before. So if you convert these percentages to a decimal, it's known as a multiplier. You can then use the percentage of a quantity technique with the multiplier to find the increased or decreased quantity in one step of calculation, as long as you understand these two steps here to work out the multiplier if something's increased or the multiplier if something's decreased. So let's show with an example here. You've got a fruit grower picked 1720 kilograms of apples last year. This year she expects her crop to be up 20%. How many kilos does she expect to pick this year? So we're going to use the two-step method first, then you use the multiplier method after. So the two-step method says one, find the percentage quantity. So it's going to be 20% larger, so I need 20% of 1720. 20% as a decimal is 0.2. I want to find 20% of 1720, so 0.2 lots of 1720. 0.2 times 1720 is going to be 344 kilograms. So what that's told us is that 20% of 1720 is 344. Now I need to add that on because it's going to grow larger to 1720 to work out how many kilograms she expects this year. So 1720, so that's step 2, 1720 plus 344 gives you 2064 kilograms. Okay? Now the multiply method I believe is easier. Okay? If something has grown, is going to grow 20%, well then it's 120% of last year. That as a decimal is 1.2 times last year. So 1.2 times by 1720 is going to be 2064 kilograms. Now I've shown the steps in working. These look like the same length, but I've shown the steps in working here. Eventually, when you get good enough at it, you'll realize the multiplier is just 1.2 and you times it by 1720, so really it should only take that if you understand the multiplier method. If not, there's nothing wrong with doing this, it's just going to take a little longer. Alright, so hopefully that helps you out with percentage increase or decrease, and I'll see you in the next video.